X-Men 97 Season 2 Episode 5 gave us a lot of cameos, but also it gave us a lot of Easter eggs in the form of DVDs. And I'm going to be going through all of them in this video. But before I get into it, I want to know, what was your first DVD? Okay, where do we start here? I guess, you know what? We're just going to go in order of the DVDs. That's what we're going to do, from left to right. Let's go. X-23. X-23 is Laura Kinney, the female clone of Wolverine. She was made using the combined DNA of Logan and Sarah Kinney, who is one of the scientists at the facility who was working on this experiment. However, when the experiment was threatened, Sarah Kinney was forced to carry the clone to term. So she is also Laura's mother genetically and also kind of naturally as well. Laura is famously known for being a member of the X-Men team, and she is also known for carrying on the legacy mantle of Wolverine in the comics. She first appeared not in the comics, but actually in the animated series X-Men Evolution, but would later make her first comic book appearance in NYX issue number 3. NYX also is like New York X-Men, for anyone that was wondering. She was created by Craig Kyle and Christopher Yost. Next up, we got Ajax. You'll probably remember Ajax from the first Deadpool movie. Yeah, that's Ajax. Ajax, as you'll recall, himself is an experiment from Weapon X. He doesn't have any nerve endings, so he can't feel anything, which also kind of adds to just how messed up of a character he is. He worked for Dr. Killebrew at Weapon X, more specifically at Hospice, managing failed experiments, which included, of course, Wade Wilson, aka Deadpool. Ajax first appeared in 1998 in Deadpool Volume 2, Issue 14. He was created by Joe Kelly and Walter McDaniel. I'm really excited for this next one because it's an Alpha Flight member. We've got Aurora. Aurora is Jean-Marie Bolbier, and she is French-Canadian. She has also been an ally of the X-Men and more recently was known as being a member of the X-Factor team during the Krakoan Age, where she was helping to handle mutant-related crimes and mysteries as part of X-Factor investigations, which was what that team was all about. Her powers were originally connected to her brother Northstar, and when they were in physical contact, they could basically emit amazing light. She also has super speed and she can fly, and she was also diagnosed with schizophrenia and dissociative identity disorder, which is actually what would end up leading her to Weapon X. She first appears in 1979 in Volume 1 of X-Men in issue 120, and she was created by Chris Claremont and John Byrne. Oh boy, this next one's really weird, so just get ready. We got Fantomex. Where do we begin with this? Also known as Weapon 13 or Charlie Cluster 7, Fantomex is a character who is created in the world. And no, I don't mean like the world, I mean like a pocket dimension that exists outside of time and space. The world is also a part of the Weapon Plus program, so that's its connection to Weapon X. Okay, Fantomex also has a nervous system that is his spaceship, that is also sometimes a hot woman named Eva. I'm not making this up. This is in the comics. This is what they wrote. Originally, Fantomex was supposed to be a tie to sort of French pulp fiction. So he was supposed to represent French noir, French spycraft, and act as a character who would be an espionage agent that you would often wonder, how did he do that? He would be going on these crazy missions that just no one else could do, these impossible missions. Ultimately, he is a lot of things. He is a human mutate, also a mutant, and at one point also a super sentinel. Not anymore, but people forget about his twin brother who was established in the 2020 Giant Size, which I did read and I do own, and all I'm saying is someone needs to update that wiki. He first appears in New X-Men Volume 1, issue 128 back in 2002. And of course, it goes without saying, no surprise to me here, a creation of Grant Morrison's as well as Igor Kordy. Next up, we have Wolverine. You know who he is. You clicked on this video. Followed by, of course, someone who is very closely tied to Wolverine, Silverfox. Silverfox was once Wolverine's girlfriend and basically his common-law wife. they live together. However, like most women that Wolverine dates, tragically, Silverfox would go on to become a weapon who would later be used against him. Silverfox died at the hands of Wolverine's nemesis, Sabretooth, but she would also then be retconned into being a part of the Weapon X program. Although we still aren't really sure if this actually is the original Silverfox in the comics. It's been long debated. She first appeared in Wolverine Volume 2, issue number 10, back in 1989, and she was created by Chris Claremont and John Buscema. Next up is one that you will know about if you watch the episode, and that, of course, is Weapon 18. This is the DVD that Morph plays in the episode, which of course tells us that this is a brood experiment that Weapon X did, where they were using the cranial fluid from the brood to essentially make even more loyal super soldiers than what they already had. Tragically, we also see in the tape, this is a fun little Easter egg, or a sad little Easter egg, really, that Maggot is an experiment that is used in this, apparently. My poor boy Maggot. And unfortunately, it does not go very well for him. So we may never get to see Maggot again in the animated universe. I don't know, but I actually really like that character. Oh. Next up, we have a character who is also attached to making, loyal super soldiers for Weapon X, and that is Psi-Borg. Psi-Borg is Aldo Farah. He helped to create the memory implant technology that was used to brainwash characters like Sabretooth and Wolverine. And he made this for Weapon X with the understanding that there was going to be an exchange for anti-aging technology. So he was supposed to give them the memory implant stuff, and then they were going to give him some anti-aging stuff. Unfortunately, that didn't end up happening for him, so he had to rely on cybernetics in order to keep his longevity. So that's why he is a Psi-Borg. He's a cyborg. He first appeared in Wolverine Volume 2, issue 62, back in 1992. He was created by Wolverine writing legend, one of my favorite Wolverine writers, Larry Hama and Mark Texeira. And when it comes to some of the characters that Wolverine has fought alongside, one of our next characters is one of those, and that is Mastodon. Mastodon was once a member of the famous Team X, which was a team that, Wolverine was a part of. Team X is a joint venture between the CIA and the Weapon Plus program. Weapon Plus is tied to many other characters in the Marvel Universe, including characters like Nuke, Fantomex, who I've already mentioned, and even Captain America, because it also has Project Rebirth under its umbrella. Mastodon first appears in Wolverine Volume 2, issue number 48 from 1991, where a lot of the characters that are in this video come from. And he was also created by Larry Hama and Mark Silvestri. This is a big one. It's Winter Soldier, also known, of course, as Bucky Barnes, once the ally of Captain America. He was long thought deceased after going MIA on a mission, but we would later find out that he was taken in by the Soviets and he was transformed into an assassin, a weapon that they could use. Also, they gave him a cool metal arm. He has ties to Weapon X through Wolverine. He's famously known for killing Wolverine's wife, Itsu, and is also known for threatening the life of his son, Daken, who is now often referred to as Akihiro, because that's his actual name. He's also been tied to Russia's super soldier program, Department X, and of course he has ties to Weapon X as well through Project Rebirth through his connection to Captain America. Bucky first appeared in Captain America Comics, issue number 1 in 1940. He was created by Joe Simon and Jack Kirby, and he would, of course, later reappear under the name Winter Soldier in 2004 when we found out that Bucky was still alive. Dun dun dun! Next up, we got Weapon 6. Weapon 6 is another name for a character that you're probably very familiar with, and that is Luke Cage, who was an experiment that was part of Project Power. Project Power was overseen by Noah Bernstein, and there's a certain issue that connects all of this to Weapon X with like a little Easter egg in one corner of the panel with like a chalkboard. And there's also another version of Weapon 6 who's supposed to be considered as an upgraded version, who is known as Adam, who also has Wolverine's healing factor. And this was established in Wolverine and Captain America issue number 1 from 2019. And Luke Cage, of course, makes his first appearance in Heroes for Hire issue number 1 from 1972. He's created by Archie Goodwin, John Romita Sr., and George Tuska. This one took me a while to think about and figure out, but I think I got it. This is Ant. Ant is a very, could be so many things in the Marvel Universe, and I'm sure a lot of people will think that this could be a reference to Ant-Man. And you know, you're kind of right. I believe Ant is a reference to Black Ant. And Black Ant is a life model decoy version of Eric O'Grady. Now, a lot of people probably know Hank Pym and Scott Lang. They are both Ant-Man, but Eric O'Grady is actually the third Ant-Man, and also probably the most problematic one. After his death in Secret Avengers, Black Ant was created by the Descendants, who themselves are realistic androids who in turn were created by the Weapon Plus program. So there's the connection back to Weapon X. Eric himself first appears in Irredeemable Ant-Man in issue number 1, where he was created back in 2006 by Robert Kirkman and Phil Hester. Now, if you're wondering about Black Ant, the LMD first appeared in Secret Avengers in issue number 24 back in 2012. And the LMD was created by Rick Remender and Gabriel Hardman. And of course, a character that appeared in this episode for a moment, Garrison Kane. I was very excited to see Garrison Kane, but unfortunately, his appearance was short-lived. Rest in peace. Garrison Kane is also a member of Cable's six-pack, who ended up in turn being tricked by Cable's evil clone, Strife. Another Strife connection, I see. Department K's Weapon X program turned him into a cyborg after he lost both his arms and his legs. Kane first appears in X-Force in issue number 2 in 1991, where he was created by Fabian Nizea and Rob Liefeld. So, he's probably got some weird feet. Next up is a character that you probably know, but I'll tell you about them anyways. That is Sabretooth. Sabretooth is Victor Creed. He is known famously for being the nemesis of Wolverine. I would say he's the nemesis of Wolverine. Sorry, Romulus, it just ain't you, girl. Of course, he is also in this episode, and he was also taken by Weapon X and used by them as a weapon. Sabretooth is also known for having a healing factor, sharp claws, and very violent tendencies. Very violent. And like Wolverine, he also has a first appearance as an antagonist. He first appeared in Iron Fist issue number 14 back in 1977, where he was created by Chris Claremont and John Byrne. We have got another character who also has some pretty close ties to Wolverine. This is, of course, the DVD Agent Zero, which is another name for a character who appears in this episode, codenamed Maverick. That's right, we're talking about Christoph Nord. Christoph Nord is from East Germany, and he, after getting married and then finding out his wife was a double agent and dealing with that tragedy, and he was so messed up that he actually decided to join the CIA's and the Weapon X's joint venture, Team X. That's right, he willfully joined Weapon X. You know you're messed up when you're doing something like that. He also has maybe one of the most 90s power sets ever. Initially, he's a mutant with energy-based powers, and when he joins Weapon X, they modify him so that he has anti-healing factor corrosive blasts. That is peak 90s. So yeah, Maverick is also kind of a great Wolverine villain to use because he could neutralize healing factors. I don't know. It's wild. He first appears in 1999's Wolverine Volume 2, issue number 48, which is also where Mastodon first appeared. And I should mention that that is also in a created memory. So it's not real, potentially. It's a memory implant. And he was known as Morse in the memory implant. As such, he's also created by Larry Hama and Mark Silvestri. Next up, we got Kimura. Kimura is X-23's handler from her time at the facility, and she is a really, really, really bad person. Like, torments Laura just for fun. Honestly, I think Kimura and Ajax would get along famously. They'd probably be like best friends because they're both so terrible. When she joined up with Weapon X, she got indestructible skin, and she also got density control, so she also has superpowers as well. She first appears in X-23 in issue number 6 from 2005, and Kimura was created by Craig Kyle and Paco Medina. This one's really sad. It's Worm, and some of you probably remember Worm from the MCU as well. Worm is Wade's best friend when he's in the hospice, which of course, as I already said, is the place that Deadpool and Worm are at because they are rejected experiments of Weapon X. So they end up there under Dr. Killebrew's nefarious care, where he does not treat his patients well at all. And unfortunately, because of Deadpool's actions, Worm actually ends up getting punished, and he has a really tragic ending in the comics. He first appears in Deadpool/Death Annual from 1998, where he was created by Joe Kelly and Steve Harris. Next up, we got Sluggo. His name sounds like he's really fun, but he's actually like kind of hardcore and super 90s. He is Bernard Hoyster, a member of Weapon X who also worked with Garrison Kane and Deadpool. A victim of accidental karma, he is probably one of the most X-Force members on this list, and so it should be no surprise to you that, yeah, he first appears in X-Force, and he makes that first appearance back in 1993, where he was created by Fabian Nizea and Greg Capullo. And finally, we have Kestral. Kestral is John Wraith, another member of Team X. He has teleportation powers, but they're kind of stealthy because he doesn't really leave a trace when he teleports. You know, Nightcrawler has his bamf and the smell. Magic also, I feel like, has an effect when she's teleporting because she's using her stepping discs. But John Wraith is just in and then he's out. He's just poof, he's gone. Does this mean, I mean, there's so many Team X members that we have in these DVDs. Could we see some more references to Team X? Maybe. I don't know, but there's a lot of them on the DVDs. And Kestral is another person that appears in Wolverine Volume 2, Issue number 48, back in that memory implant. So that's where he makes his first appearance as well. He was created by Larry Hama, Mark Silvestri, and Dave Hoover. And that's all of the DVDs. That's every single one. There is one more that I could kind of read, but I could only get the first 3 letters that I think these are the first 3 letters. I think it's M-A-R. And then maybe an I, but maybe my brain wants to fill it in because, you know, I'm thinking Mariko. However, in this episode, I feel what we're doing with Lady Deathstrike is we're actually kind of combining Mariko and Yuriko. So does Mariko even still exist here? I don't know. Anyways, let me know what your theories are for what that last DVD is. There's definitely an M, there's definitely an A, and I'd love to hear what you think it might be down in the comments. I've given you my theories, I've given you my Easter eggs, now you can give me some of yours. And that's all I have for this one. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to watch this video. I hope you learned a lot. Let me know how you're feeling about X-Men 97 so far, and what are some characters that you would like to see referenced or appear in this season. Let me know down below. And if you missed any of my previous thoughts on X-Men 97, you can check out more of that over here. I'll see you in the next one. And until next time, friends, you stay nerdy. Bye.